Alright guys, what do you get when you mix a depressed villain with a stash of old vibranium? Maybe the end of the world. It doesn't matter whether you're a Celestial, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, or even a god. Because Marvel just made one thing painfully clear. You do not get in Godzilla's way. Welcome back to Keepin' It Comic, and today we're diving into Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe, issue number 1. Now as you can see, we started off with that depressed villain. The dialogue says, once upon a time, deep under the earth, lived a powerful king, the Mole Man. Like many smaller monarchs, he hated that which he could not subjugate. Everything under the surface was his, yet he craved the conquest of the surface world. His subjects discovered a unique deposit of vibranium infused with unstable molecules. A powerful weapon was forged. Mole Man was not a wise ruler. If he were, he would have known there's always a bigger, badder king. And that king's long, peaceful slumber was at an end. Now, 4 days later, at the Baxter building, the Fantastic Four are on the roof. And Reed Richards is like, after days of earthquakes, it seems the Earth's crust is rising quickly below the city. I think something's about to break through. And all of a sudden, Ben's like, oh, for the love of... Reed's like, oh no, if something breaks through, all right, a friggin' Celestial. Now, Celestials are ancient beings bound to only eternity, and their arrival always spells doom. Reed's like, it may look beautiful, Sue, but she's like, no, it doesn't. He continues, it's deadly. The Earth is a kind of egg for this newly hatched Celestial. And Ben's like, wait, Stretch, you mean you knew this thing was just sawn logs at the center of the Earth? And he's like, of course, Ben, but it wasn't supposed to awaken for almost 1,000,000 years. Something very disruptive must have happened to the subterranean ecosystem. Johnny takes off. He's like, I'll get it looking at me, so you could drop some science on it. And Mole Man and his people are trying to get the Fantastic Four to help, with their ketchup packets everywhere, of course. And Reed stretches his neck all the way down. He's like, Mole Man, what's happened to awaken the Celestial early? What have you done? Mole Man responds, the Celestial is not the problem. That is, it's Godzilla. And Godzilla didn't waste no time going after the Celestial. I mean, he bit a piece of whatever that stringy thing is on his face and hit him with a left hook. Now, while these two were duking it out, there's some dialogue I'll read to you guys. It says, Mole Man had long dreamed of destroying the surface world if he could not conquer it. And now, he may get his terrible wish. Celestials were designed to survive the infinite void of outer space and the raging infernos at the center of planets, but not Godzilla. And bro, Godzilla rips this thing's head right off. Now, I think it's friggin' hilarious because the Fantastic Four are all freaking out. And Reed's like, okay, nobody do anything. Nobody even move. And you can see Godzilla toss the Celestial's head as if he's like, honey, I'm home. I've had a long day at work and I'm just over today. And then one of the bad friggin' kids, Mole Man, comes and hits him with the weapon saying, stay back. And Godzilla just gives him that look. The kaiju's eyes flashed with anger and pain. And Reed Richards knocks Mole Man out. He's like, damn you, Mole Man. And you can see Godzilla's ready to stomp on them. Ben's like, aw, crud. Looks like it's getting clobbered time. Sue's like, stay close, guys. Reed says, don't forget Mole Man, darling. And just then, Godzilla stomps right on that force field. But Reed's already on it. He says, this is Mr. Fantastic, broadcasting on emergency frequencies for the Avengers and the X-Men. Please respond and rally to a level 10 threat at the Baxter building. Ben is like, we're gonna need a bigger threat level, Stretch. How about 11 or 54? We'll call Godzilla. I figure you'll need some time in your lab. Reed is like, Mole Man staff. This vibranium is unlike anything I've examined before, and Godzilla clearly doesn't like it. so I love it. And a few moments later, we have the Avengers on scene. Cap's like, let's just get it to the river. And Black Panther's like, Quicksilver, crowd control. And Wanda's turning all debris into butterflies. And Sue's like, it's so strong. I've never felt my force fields buckle like this before. And you can see Godzilla's just simply pushing on it. And Quicksilver's like, I'll get the worker drones out of their beehives. And he's off. And I think this artwork is phenomenal. We're seeing Quicksilver grab everyone, and you can still see what everyone's dealing with Godzilla. I mean, he's getting everyone, and he still made time to be like, hi, Wanda. And then you can see Ben got grabbed by Godzilla. And Johnny's like, don't giant lizards fall from trees when it's cold? Where's Iceman? And Sue's like, I think the X-Men are off Earth again. Quicksilver, hurry. Godzilla's pushing through. And one of the people he saved is talking about, I forgot my phone. And during all this, Grimm's just getting tossed all around, still in Godzilla's fist. He's like, oh, for the love of Pete, this is humiliating. Wanda's like, don't worry, I'll change that rubble into something a little more harmless. Sue's like, Reed, if you're listening to comms, we just wanted to encourage you to, and Cap's like, hurry up, Reed. And Black Panther says, Captain America. And before he can even say the next word, Quicksilver's like, got everyone out, even the goldfish. But Black Panther continues, we don't have the might to fight this thing yet. I have an idea, but I want to examine this vibranium weapon Mr. Fantastic has recovered. And Sue says, Reed, Black Panther is on the way. The rest of us will keep fighting. Johnny says, can we just push it into New Jersey? It will return to the center of the earth after 5 minutes. Cap says, let's just get it into the water, and he's interrupted by Reed. Wait, Cap, don't force it back into the ocean. I have a solution I'm loath to deploy, even against this raging monster. Bring it towards the Baxter building. And just then, here enters a new challenger. Thor apologizes for joining the battle late. A drunken frost giant had been raising Alfheim and needed a physical rebuke. You there, depart Manhattan expeditiously. Jeez, I feel like T.I. saying that. Or feel the wrath of my Uwu mallet. Tisk. The hard way, as Steve is fond of saying. It clearly Godzilla wanted all the smoke because he treated Thor like his damage meter on Smash Brothers was all the way up. He gave him one slap and sent this god flying into outer space. Captain Marvel's face says it all. She said, oof, I'll go get our god back. But back at the Baxter building, Reed has set up some machine. He's like, the threat's name is Godzilla. It first arrived from the sea in Japan long ago. Its sporadic appearances begin as curses. Sometimes they were blessings as it fought assorted dominance over world's kaiju. Godzilla returns to the sea after waging war. In truth, perhaps Godzilla's never tasted defeat. The Mole Man's vibranium discovery has greatly upset the balance of its natural habitat. The thought of doing to any living creature what I must do is almost too horrible to consider. Almost. Black Panther's like, this vibranium alloy is a shock. It could only have been formed over tens of thousands of years at tremendous pressure. Reed says, and its energy frequency is highly disruptive to Godzilla. I'll admit, I've been working on such a wide-angle lens for Godzilla that I haven't had time to examine it further. Get Godzilla moving towards the Baxter building. Please, don't wait on me. I'll be ready. And just then, the thing who's still been in Godzilla's hands this whole time finally bites him. And Godzilla throws him, and he goes, hey, don't throw rocks at windows. Now, the thing done crashed through a window and said, sorry, Mr. Jameson, can't believe Spidey tried that lizard serum and turned into a giant monster. And he goes, I knew it. Like, bro, how you gonna blame Spider-Man? And why would you say that to J.J. Jameson? We know this man has a stroke anytime he thinks Spider-Man does something. But back outside, Wanda's like, that big lizard is immune to my hexes. If Reed's plan fails, we'll need more backup. Doctor Strange? Sue says, agreed, Wanda. Maybe we should make a global distress call. And Strange is like, unfortunately, Sue, I'm on a house call at the moment. But when I vanquish this interdimensional parasite, I will attend you presently. When it rains, it pours, unfortunately. And Cap's like, I've had enough. So he throws his shield and says, I don't know if you can understand me, but where I'm from, you punch the bully right in the nose. Your rampage has gone on long enough. And even though we may appear small to you, we Avengers have plenty of experience fighting big, angry green monsters, Godzilla. Now you can go back to sleep, or stay here and maybe end up sleeping forever. And Godzilla gave him that look and let off a roar. And Cap said, oh boy. And you see Godzilla's back start glowing, and he lets off that beam. Cap blocks it with his shield and reflects it right back at Godzilla. And this old janitor's like, I'm not cleaning this up. Cap's like, damn it. I'm sorry it had to end for Godzilla like this. Just gruesome. And you can see his chest is completely open. Cap's like, today's really gonna stink. But that is not it for Godzilla, because he's back for vengeance. He starts to heal, and they're off. Cap's like, got room for one more? To Baxter? And as they arrive, Sue's like, it's the only way, Ben. And Ben's like, sheesh, the negative zone? I mean, there's no coming back from that void. And Black Panther's like, it seems the beast is fixated on Captain America. And Reed says, smile and hold still. Look out, it's charging. And just then, he hits the Baxter building with a Falcon punch, destroying the building. And as everyone's falling, this caused Reed's negative zone portal to swing backwards. And you can see he's like, Sue, I love you. And the whole upper third of the Baxter building disappears in a silent explosion. And Godzilla's trail of destruction continues. Captain Marvel finally returns and she says, I got Thor back, and he flew off in a rage. Black Panther says, I'm sorry to say, I need to leave for Wakanda. I believe I can devise a way to stop Godzilla. And as Wanda sending Black Panther back to Wakanda, John is like, wait, Wanda, can you reach my family? Captain Marvel tells him, box up your grief for now, Johnny. The world needs the Human Torch. We have to get this thing the hell out of New York. He says, and if the Fantastic Four are gone? And she responds, then we avenge them together. And he says, that thing just decapitated the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. And just then, look who shows up. Spider-Man. Spin. No, I'm playing. Let's not call him that. I know how angry you guys get about calling Miles Morales Spin. Ghost Spider, Iron Man, Luke Cage, Deadpool, on a scooter, by the way, Daredevil, and Iron Fist. And Daredevil says, would we be the new Avengers? Or maybe in a twist, we're the new Thunderbolts. And at this point, guys, I gotta know, did the Fantastic Four really just get erased? Can Black Panther actually cook up a way to stop this monster? And is Reed really gone? Or is this portal just the beginning of something worse? Is Godzilla really unstoppable? Or are we about to see every leftover hero in the Marvel Universe get cooked trying? Y'all sound off in the comments. Who's actually walking out alive? And how wild is it that Deadpool pulled up on Godzilla on a scooter? Want to stay locked in? Hit the link tree down below. We got the site, the merch, Discord, and for a limited time, if you sign up for Hulu, you get it for a month free. So don't sleep on it. If you had fun with this video, drop a like so more folks can find it. And if you're new here, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss out when Marvel goes nuclear again. And as always, thanks for kicking it with Keeping It Comic. I'll catch y'all on the next one.